Sailor, you get your ass on this ship right now. So is Don ever going home? Like, what the fuck, man? I'm sure he will this episode. I feel very confident that things are over between him and Betty, at least for now. Maybe they get back together in season 4, season 5. We'll see. See, here's the thing. She hasn't even found out he has a double life, that he's not who he told you he was. Now, there's a famous series, I'm not going to say which one because spoilers, but there's a famous series where a guy had a secret, a very dark secret, that would have destroyed the relationship. And his wife, who's a lovely character, great protagonist, not a bad person at all, she didn't know the secret. And she ended up dying before she found out the secret. And so for many seasons, there was this tension. When she find out what would happen when she did, she would obviously dump his ass, right? And plus, she'd had a bad history with men, so this would have made her doubt herself. She would have blamed herself. All this stuff. There had been all such great drama and tension. Turns out she died before she found out the secret. Kind of a letdown. But the point was, you don't always have to pay it off when people find out secrets. Typically, they do. The Americans in the show had a secret. Obviously, it's in the DNA of the show. They're spies from Russia. They're living a double life. There are people they grew close to here in America. Would they find out the secret? Would they not? When would they find it out? And, would they find it out so late that it didn't even fucking matter? Some of these things drive attention, but not all of these shows do they find out these secrets. So my point is, maybe Betty never finds out about this. Because what does that look like? So it's a question of how much story could you squeeze out of this concept. So my point is, them breaking up now, he never gets back together with her, then it doesn't really matter. If she finds out, she's pissed at him, she screams at him, but then he walks away from her, goes back to his current girlfriend. Do we care? So that's why I think they're going to get back together, if they're going to pay off the whole thing about her finding out about his double life, but maybe she never will find out. That's why I love the mystery of this show. There's all these things that characters can find out about each other. Peter knows, so he's always a loose cannon. He already mentioned it to Peggy. She'll eventually unravel it, probably by the end of season 3. But let me stay focused here. For this episode, I think Don comes back. He finds out about this merger. He's pissed off, but hey, he was gone, so he can't really complain. And he goes ahead and he's going to get a divorce with Betty. Maybe he initiates that. And as far as Peter, I think there's going to be some fallout with him too, because he lost his Clearasil case. So maybe they're going to start looking at that. Why did this happen? Maybe his wife will leave him. Maybe not. But either way, because he's going to blame her, of course, for losing. Once he gets shit on by the company for losing Clearasil, he's going to take it out on her. Maybe she'll just leave his ass. Oh, she does dump his ass. Allison Brie's busy anyway. She's doing Community all the fucking time. She ain't got time for this bullshit. Shitty ass relationship on this show. She's got much better relationships on that other show. And she's fucking doing Bojack as well. She's fucking busy. She ain't got time for this shit. Punk ass. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. This is called Meditations in an Emergency, which is the name of that book that he sent her early in the season, in which they did reference last episode. So, that should be interesting. Let's do this. Well, we start off with you looking irritated. It's just a fucking painting. Calm down. Oh, okay. Find out why she's bleeding. Don't tell me she's fucking pregnant. Because they had sex? How long has it been since they did that?
You're going to have another baby.
Jesus Christ. So that's going to bring them back together. Just fucking throw everything I said out the window.
Eating right, sleeping, avoid strenuous activity.
Or
no
she's going to
riding.
get an abortion.
Just take it easy. That's what husbands are for.
Yeah, about that.
I understand this was a surprise, but blessings come that way.
Yeah, you're assuming a lot, motherfucker.
Of course.
I'll need you to undress.
Real. Well, that just blows everything out of water. It's going to bring them back together. Motherfucker.
Dr. Aldrich, I can't have a baby right now.
Well, take it up with Mother Nature.
Mrs. Draper, if we're having the conversation I think we're having...
Oh, shit.
There are alternatives, obviously. That is an option for young girls.
You're supposed to be pushing out babies all the time, man. Twice a decade. You still got another fucking 15 baby rearing years left in you.
The minute you tell your husband, your friends,
they'll
stop worrying.
He's condescending as fuck. Of course, sign of the times, right?
Great. Clearasil is missing.
Oh, shit.
Honestly, There's an aerospace gold rush. I bet Draper's landing a big one.
He better be. He better come back with a big
I
one.
haven't heard anything.
Everybody looking at her. That's right. We know you're Don's bitch.
His own shop in L.A. Or he's finding a good spot for Sterling Cooper West. I'd love to
Either
go
way.
to California.
Yeah.
I'd get a convertible. If Kennedy's speech goes past 8:30, that's Lucy. And then Danny Thomas and
Oh,
Andy
shit.
Griffith. I'll take it in the shorts. Why am I sick to my stomach?
He's just thinking about that ad revenue, man. Hopefully Kennedy will shut the fuck up.
I was just wondering if you told anybody about Clearasil yet?
I guess it must have slipped my mind.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
don't know
better
what's
hurry
going
up.
on, but tell the truth. Don't worry about the outcome. People
Yeah,
respect that.
that works out wonderfully in life. Just tell the truth.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry about the outcome. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you should be truthful, but I'm just saying, man. Don't worry about the outcome. Jesus. I have to admit, the riding outfit is very fetching. Oh, shit. You're finally back, motherfucker. I wonder how long it's been. They're so loose with the timeline here.
How long have you been here? You disappeared.
I'm
I
mad.
had to
I
have
was
some time
mad.
to think about things.
Must be nice. Needing time and just taking it.
Well, you should do the
On
same
your
thing.
own terms.
Wait a minute. No, you just did the same thing, though, didn't you?
I'd do anything I could to undo what happened.
So he's admitting it.
Honestly, things haven't been that different without you.
That's one thing disappearing does. It makes people realize what it's like without you, which not always a good thing.
Can't deal with this right now, Don. I'll call.
Yeah.
I'll make arrangements.
That's right. Make that power play. Well, like I said, they're so loose with the timeline. We don't know how long he's been gone. You know, it's like, I need to know these things.
What's your poison? I don't know.
Whatever's strongest, because I'm going to need it.
Sit down.
Yep. He's back on the sauce. Probably not a good thing.
Sales are strong, creative is strong, but we are not suited for business together.
Your father-in-law.
Yes,
That's a sticky wicket.
Yeah, it is.
indeed.
The British agency, Putnam, Powell, and Lowe, is taking a controlling share of Sterling Cooper.
I can't believe he's going to tell this motherfucker.
Conflict with Lever Brothers.
We're merging. Being merged.
So they're going to have to get rid of Clearasil
You're
anyway.
loyal. I'd like you to replace me as head of accounts.
Excellent.
I'm trusting you with
For
this
him.
information.
He thought he was going to get it reamed out.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
So now he can really tell his father-in-law to go fuck himself.
I don't know what to say.
You say thank you, and then you don't say anything.
You goddamn right. You better keep
News
this
has
to
to be
yourself,
broken
you
the right
fucking
way.
bunny rabbit.
Is Don on board with my promotion?
I'm the president. I don't need his permission, do I?
That's what this is all about.
If Don shows up, he'll fall in line.
If
Have
Don
to,
shows
or
up.
find another profession. That's why God put non-compete clauses in contracts.
He doesn't have a contract, dumbass.
Thank you.
Now, walk out and don't say shit. Who's he going to tell first? Peggy, probably. He confides in her for some reason.
This government, as promised, has maintained the closest surveillance
Here we go.
of the Soviet military buildup
Cuban Missile
on the
Crisis.
island of Cuba. Unmistakable evidence has established the fact
Goddamn right.
that a series on that imprisoned island. The purpose of these bases can be none other.
Of course, you realize this means war.
Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., I directed that our surveillance be stepped up.
Goddamn
And
right.
having
Pausing.
now-
Mark. Okay, so I promised I was going to get into this shit. Dad was in the Navy, of course. He was stationed with the Newport News at the time, and the Newport News was in Newport. It was in Norfolk, Virginia. Okay, and most of the people were on shore leave. Dad was on shore leave. All of a sudden, the call goes out, and they don't have cell phones back then. Obviously, they can't text people. The call goes out. Everybody, get your asses back to the fucking ship. Newport News wasn't the only ship. It was there's a bunch of ships stationed there, right? And all these sailors on shore leave. They're in all the bars. They're in all the whorehouses. They're at parties and shit. They're at restaurants. They're all scattered all over the fucking city. All the MPs from all the fucking ships go racing out. And they check out all the hot spots. These are the 17 bars the sailors go to. They go to all of them. They start shouting out, "Get your asses back to the fucking ship now." That was at one of these bars. He gets the news. He fucking pays his tab, and runs out with a bunch of people that he was with. And they go fucking racing. They can't find a cab, so they just run to the fucking port. Okay? They were about 2 miles away. They run to the fucking port. And they're fucking, he was in good shape back then. This is 62, I think. So they get to the fucking harbor. And Newport News is stationed at the end of the fucking dock, right? Because it's a really big ship. And so he starts, and there's a watchmaster at the fucking front of, there's these little walkways that go up to every ship, right? And there's a watchmaster at every one, and they check who you are to make sure they're not just letting some random person on the ship. And there's a watchmaster at the head of each one of these fucking ramps, right? And so he's running, and he's trying to get to the ship before it takes off, because the ship's going to fucking leave at a certain point. It's fucking gone. Then you're fucked. Then you have to try to get down any way you can, right? He sees the ship hasn't, they haven't fucking pushed away yet. The smokestacks haven't started. Whatever. There's signs, like there's certain lights that get turned on when the ship's ready to leave. He sees he's going to make it. So he slows down to a fucking walk, right? And the watchmaster at the end of the dock for the Newport News sees that he slows down and says, "Sailor, you get your ass on this ship right now." So he had to start fucking running again. Turns out like it was an hour before the ship left. But like, they're not fucking around, man. They think this is going to be World War III. They're not fucking around. The ships are all going to fucking leave Norfolk, Virginia tonight. So he fucking gets on the ship. And, they end up sailing with like 2/3 of their crew. So there's a whole third of the fucking crew who is left behind. They push away. They're fucking get down there. They got to fucking get down there. So they push away. And they start leaving the harbor. And then a bunch of them mustered down in all the fucking crew, the cafeterias and shit. There's TV set up in these cafeterias, right? They're about 30 minutes away from the harbor when John F. Kennedy starts his speech. The speech we just saw, right? And nobody knew nobody said anything. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. They just knew some shit was happening. We got to get back to ship right now. Maybe war is broken out. We don't fucking know. We got to hurry our asses, right? That's all they knew at that point. Then they watched the speech and like, holy shit. And he's thinking, God damn, this means war. Because it's not enough to hear the speech. It's, you just got rushed back to the fucking ship. And we're sailing away. We're going down to Cuba. And you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. And we're only, less than 20 years out from World War II at that point. So war is pretty common back then. Like, the Korea, of course, happened. War is pretty common, man. So it's like, it doesn't feel as like distant as it does now, having war with other nations, superpowers and shit. Doesn't feel as distant, Even Korea was really about the war with the superpower of China, right? One more thing, what I'm going to do is, as we have little tentpole events, if they reference them, I'll mention stories he told me about his time during the blockade of Cuba and everything that happened there, right? Like, because he was, like I said, he's on the flagship. But one more thing I want to tell you about real quick. He heard about the consequences if he hadn't been fast enough getting back to the ship. That third of people who didn't make it on the ship, they had to come down by any means necessary. We're talking about one of his best friends had to sail down there as a merchant marine ship that they commandeered to collect a bunch of fucking people, just take it down to fucking Cuba and rendezvous with the ship and offload these people and get them back on the ship, right? So these motherfuckers had to get on a fucking container ship and basically sit down there with the fucking cargo for 3 days. Just rocking back and forth. There's one bathroom. There was like 80 of them in this cargo container, right? There's one bathroom for 80 people. Imagine that. And they didn't have very, very much food on there. Basically they were down to, they had one meal a day. And they were only allowed to have, they had strictly rationed water. They weren't allowed to have much water. Because you're not going to starve to death on one meal a day, right? So, but they didn't, it's a container ship. They have a crew of like 8 people. They're not a passenger ship. They weren't ready for, like, have these people. So they didn't have enough food for everybody, right? So, especially didn't have enough water. No showers. So his best friend kept stumbling aboard the on the Newport News 3 days later. Hadn't had a shower in about 4 days. Starving. Dehydrated. Hadn't gotten much sleep because just the way the fucking ship was rocking was unlike what happens in the Navy, right? Horrible fucking experience getting down to Cuba. Fucking horrible. Other people who maybe had taken leave, had taken a few days leave and were like in other parts of the country, they got to fly to Florida and then take a short hop on some fucking tiny Navy ship. And they didn't have such a bad time. Like, because Newport News was they thought they were in fucking port for about 2 weeks, right? They were just chilling. People had gone to other parts of the country and shit, The people who were like in other parts of the country got to fly to Florida and then get the short hop, they had it best. The people who were stuck in fucking Norfolk, had to take these container ships down, man. Not a good time. So yeah, it's a good thing he ran. He's been always been grateful that he fucking ran down to the port. But like I said, there's other stories if they reference certain specific details I can attach. Okay, this happened in this time period. But what the story I just told you happened that fucking night that they just depicted. Yeah, I know it because that's when Kennedy gave that first speech. So.